Hey there guys, welcome to my review of my fourth anticipated film of 2016, Suicide Squad. When they announced this movie, I was like, oh my god, they actually doing a Suicide Squad film. And I was introduced to Suicide Squad when I was about 16, when Smallville did their own interpretation of Suicide Squad, and it sucked really, but I still love you Smallville, you're one of my favourite shows. Then Arrow did it a few years ago and it sucked, and nobody really understood the concept of Suicide Squad, and till now with this movie. And I've always been a fan of Suicide Squad because it's one of my favourite properties of DC. I just love this idea of like B-list, C-list supervillains coming together, working together to do their own will to do something good. Now this film has been released in the UK for a couple of weeks now, and it's already have a 20% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Take this with a grain of salt, I hardly use Rotten Tomatoes at all. I've never been a fan of it, I never used it, so I don't really care what they say. Because when I ask for advice, I always go to particular film critics or film fans, or particular websites like IGN or Badass Digest. But I have spoken to some fans and some critics, and the film is quite mixed. But it's a better mix than Batman v Superman in a way. I think the people who hate it say it's a god-awful mess of a film, and the people who love it say it's a lot of fun at the cinema. So what's my overall thoughts on this film? Well, I'm kind of split in the middle. I do think the film is fun most of the time, but I do have to admit it's a god-awful mess of a film. But let's talk about the things I really liked about the film though. Let's talk about the strongest element to this film, and I think it's the characters. I mean, there is no better actress to play Harley Quinn than Margot Robbie. She's funny, she's crazy, and she's sexy as hell. Will Smith, he's such a bad in this film. He gets some good moments in this film, and he doesn't really absorb the film really, because I was a little bit worried when Will Smith was going to be in this film, because I feel like he has been in some bad films the past few years, and also he likes to get involved in the script editing and likes to be the main section of the film. But no, he was pretty good, and he was given to like a really nice background story, and you get to see Batman in this film, which is quite cool in a way. Jai Courtney as Captain Boomerang brings some laughter, and he did bring a bit of a charisma to the film, but he was just so good and such a good surprise. He's one of my favourite Flash villains, and you actually get to see Flash. He does a little cameo, and I just adore that so much. Killer Croc had his moments in this film, and I kind of like what they did with him with the practical effect instead of the whole CGI. I was expecting like something like they do with like the Arkham Asylum games, but it went for a good approach. I kind of like where he gets to wear like a leather jacket, and I think he's quite cool. He's not massively strong, but I kind of didn't mind that. El Diablo was probably my favourite character in this film because he just had such a great backstory, and he had so much to do in this film, and that finale, he had some cool stuff in the finale, so I thought El Diablo was probably my favourite character in the Suicide Squad. Amanda Weller, played by Viola Davis, she was fantastic. She was the cold-hearted bitch I have always wanted. She was a great puppet master, with all her glory, and she's like an adult amongst these children, and her knowledge is so dangerous to share. I just love that. And there's this one scene when she had to kill all her colleagues just to keep some secrets safe, and that was like, oh my god, she's fantastic. I loved Amanda Weller. I think she's the great interpretation of Amanda Weller I've seen in live action and also in cartoon. Jared Leto as the Joker exceeded expectations. I thought he brought something new and fresh to the film. He's not in the film that much. He's only got about 20 minutes of screen time, but once he's in it, he really kind of owns his role. I know some people are going to say, oh well, he's not got a safe latch up, but it's like, go fuck yourself, guys. But I think he's just so fun, and I think he's bringing something new to the Joker elements. But you know, Jared Leto, I really hope he's in the new Batman solo film. Now the chemistry between the characters are great in this film. I liked it how their relationships evolved, and I liked their kind of working together, that kind of thing. I feel like, in my opinion, Deathshot and Harley Quinn had the best chemistry because it was fun, it was elastic, and I loved it how they teased each other. I liked it how they it was kind of like you got more invested in the characters and how they become a bit more entertaining between each other. Now let's talk about the bad things about this film. The story narrative of this film is a complete fuck up of a film. The plot doesn't even begin to another 35 minutes. None of the plot actually makes any sense in the end, because when the film goes in too many directions and it doesn't really come together and gel well. Now the filming of this film was a total failure. Nothing about the film was intriguing and it falls so flat. The story and the main purpose of the film fails for a big blockbuster film. And the editing of the film was so horribly wrong. It was like they just didn't care in the end. There's this one thing it kind of pissed off me, because it kind of affected Captain Boomerang's arc. It was when probably at the near end, when Captain Boomerang changes his mind, he got a way to escape. Then the next minute, with no explanation at all, he comes back to the team. That was just so annoying, and I really hated that. I feel like for a big studio like that, with important people, you should have not done that, because it was just horribly wrong. And what kind of film does horrible editing that does not make any sense to the characters, to the film at all? This film was trying so hard to be like Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, and you could understand why they were doing it. But unfortunately, it doesn't really have the right ingredients, and it shouldn't really do that in a way. But you have great characters, they're just in a really bad film. I really like David Ayer's directing in this film. I think he did a really good job. It was more to the fact, it was more for writing and editing in this film. So overall, it's an entertaining film. I have only seen it once, and I think I'm only going to see it once. It's not like I need to watch it again and again. I'll probably wait till it comes out on Blu-ray. I would give it a 7 out of 10. It's a good film if you kind of just lower your expectations for this film. Really don't go in high expectations. But I will say, I feel like the main purpose of the film, it wasn't for DC fans or comic book fans. I feel like there was loads of Harley Quinn fans going to this film. I see all women, different kinds of women, wearing the Harley Quinn t-shirt, and I just kind of find that pretty cool. So if you love Harley Quinn, go watch this film. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Go check out my other videos. I will be doing another video next week. I don't know what I'm going to do really. I'm not going to do a movie review. I might do something like a top 10 list. But go check out my Facebook page, my YouTube page, and my Twitter page. I'll see you guys soon. I've got your back.